In a peaceful village surrounded by towering mountains, there lived a kind-hearted man named Arjun. He was known for his generosity and willingness to help others. Yet, despite his goodness, he often felt an unexplainable sadness. He could not understand why happiness was so temporary. Some days, he was filled with joy, but on others, he felt lost and hopeless. One day, a wise sage visited the village. He was a traveler known for his wisdom and had helped many people find purpose in life. When Arjun heard about him, he rushed to meet the sage. "Oh wise one! I feel lost. I do good deeds, I help others, yet sometimes sadness takes over me. Why doesn't happiness stay forever?" Arjun asked with a heavy heart. The sage smiled and said, "Come with me. I will show you something that will change your life." Curious, Arjun followed the sage up a hill. They reached a vast open field where a magnificent tree stood. Its branches spread wide, offering shade and comfort to those who rested beneath it. The sage pointed at the tree and asked, "Do you see this tree? It stands tall and strong, but do you think it has never faced storms?" Arjun looked at the tree and replied, "Of course, it must have faced storms, harsh winds, and heavy rains." The sage nodded and said, "Exactly. Yet, it does not fall because its roots are deep and strong. Similarly, life will bring storms, sadness, and hardships. But if you have deep roots of wisdom and understanding, you will never fall." Arjun listened carefully and then asked, "How can I make my roots strong? How can I stay happy even in moments of sadness?" The sage smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story. Long ago, in a great kingdom, there lived a young prince named Vikrant. He had everything: wealth, luxury, and power. Yet, deep inside, he felt an unexplainable emptiness. At night, he would sit alone, staring at the moon, wondering why his life felt incomplete. One evening, a mysterious traveler arrived at the palace. He carried an old wooden box and requested an audience with the prince. "Inside this box lies the answer to your sorrow," the traveler said. "But there is a condition: once you open it, you must follow its instructions carefully." Curious, Vikrant opened the box and found a simple candle inside. "Light this candle in the darkest room of your palace," the traveler instructed. Vikrant obeyed. As soon as the candle was lit, the room filled with a golden glow. But suddenly, strange shadows began to form on the walls. They twisted into frightening shapes. Terrified, Vikrant was about to blow out the candle when he remembered the traveler's warning. Gathering his courage, he looked closely and noticed that amidst the growing shadows, there was a small, steady light. At that moment, he realized, no matter how large the shadows were, a tiny flame always remained. The next morning, he asked the traveler, "What was all this? What were those shadows, and what was that small light?" The traveler smiled and said, "The shadows were your fears, your worries, and your sorrows. The more attention you give them, the bigger they grow. But did you notice the little light? That was your inner strength. No matter how deep the darkness, if you focus on your inner light, you will never be defeated." The sage looked at Arjun and said, "Sadness is a natural part of life. But 3 things will make you stronger. Face your fears. Running from fear only makes it stronger. When you understand it, it loses its power. Recognize your inner strength. No matter how dark it gets, there is always a light within you. Focus on that. Keep hope alive. Hard times will come and go, but you are greater than your struggles." Arjun took these lessons to heart. He began to live with gratitude and wisdom. Now, whenever sadness approached him, he knew he couldn't stop it, but he could push it away with his inner light. Remember, darkness will always exist, but you have the power to become the light. Glowing star.